Good evening to everyone. First of all, thank you very much for joining us for the ICAW case study orientation session basically. And in this session, we are going to discuss what is the ICAW case study, what is the exam structure, what skills do we require to pass the ICAW case study exam basically. But before discussing what is case study and how we can approach our this syllabus and other areas, first of all, let's briefly discuss at the tutor's profile and then we will discuss it. As you people know, and definitely you should be aware that this is an orientation session and not only for the July exam but also for the November exams as well. Due to some reasons, we know that our exams have been extended and hopefully they will be at the last week of the August. But ICW will inform us about the exam situation. So we have to be prepared for our real exam basically. This is my brief profile. I am your tutor, Numan Yakad, ICW Chartered Accountant, ACCA member, and PIFA member. I have more than 6 years of teaching experience and more than 5 years of industry experience. Currently working as a lecturer in a government university, and I am also as a tutor for ICW, ACCA, and CM USA as well. I have worked at various positions in accounts and finance, audit and taxation in private limited companies, public limited companies, and group companies as well. So this was brief introduction about myself. So let's start what we have to discuss about the today's case study. If you look at what is the case study exam basically, first of all, let's look at what is the ICAW case study exam. This exam of ICW is completely different. That's a different exam from rest of the exam basically. Either you have studied in your ICAW or you have studied from your ACC or any other qualification, and that's a very different exam as well. How this is a different exam, we will discuss it out as well. First of all, we will be given the advanced information. Before real exam, we will be given the advanced information. Then we will discuss what is the exam paper. Its exam paper is entirely different from rest of the exam as well, and its marking key, and that is also a unique and structured marking key that is completely different from the rest of the exams as well. So these are three main things for the ICW case study. First of all, advanced information. What is the advanced information? What is the exam paper? What is its style? And what is the marking key? We will discuss briefly these contents. Further, as we know, and that case study, what is case study? Case study is not like financial reporting exam, not like audit and assurance or taxation or any other exam. That is basically a simulation of real business situation. What is going on in a business, that is all about the case study. You have to be a good business analyst, just work like the CEO. Let's take out the one small example. For example, these are two different years, 2018 and 2019 basically. We know when we prepare our financial statements, just like statement of profit and loss, statement of financial position, statement of cash flow, and so on basically. But one of the most important thing in our financial statement that we see that we should observe is basically the inventory. For example, my inventory level, let's assume it was $10 million in 2018, but in 2019 it's $25 million. So what happened basically? It means my inventory level has been increased by $15 million. It has been increased by $15 million. So as a business owner, as a company CEO, what I should be doing, I should be worried about this increase in inventory level. Why this inventory level has been increased by a huge amount? Because if my inventory level is increasing, it means it is quite possible that my inventory is not being sold out. It might be out of date, it might be out of fashion. It means it is not being sold out. Not sold out basically. It might be out of fashion, it might be at high price, it might be of poor quality, It might be poor marketing techniques. So lot of reasons basically for not selling out this inventory. So if my inventory level will be continuously increasing, then I should be worried. I should be thinking about how I can sell out my inventory basically. Because if my inventory is being sold out, definitely it will be converted into sales and rest of the thing, and it will generate profit and good income for the business. So just think like in this situation, you are the owner of a business. You are an entrepreneur, you are a businessman, you are the CEO of a good company as well. Then what could happen? That's why it is mentioned simulation of a realistic business situation. What you will do as an ICAW chartered accountant in a real business situation. This is that's why it says you need the advice of a chartered accountant. In this case, in this exam of case study, basically we need an advice of a chartered accountant, because it is assumed when we are going to appear in our case study exam, they think that we are a final year training basically, and it is clearly being mentioned out in our exam. When we will discuss, then it is clearly being mentioned out in our case study advanced information that we are a chartered accountant basically. So this was first of all brief thing, what is the case study introduction. Then what is the objective of case study exam basically. Objective is much similar with our previous slide basically. It examines our business issues, our business abilities, understanding complex business issues. That's a main key. That is our main objective, basically. Understanding what's going on basically in business issues, we have to discuss what are the business models basically, what are the strategies that companies, that industries are using to increase their sales. This is understanding of business issues basically. What you are manufacturing, at what price you are selling it out, from where you are buying your components, in which markets you should enter basically, what you have to do basically to get some good position, to get market share in worldwide global areas basically. This is complex business issues you have to understand. You just need to be an accountant, just like putting the IS2 or IS16. You need to think beyond that box basically. Those things are important, but apart from those, business issues are really important as well. So we need to have some good business understanding. Then analyzing the financial and non-financial data. So not only about the number, financial data means number, talking about the number. Non-financial data means not only the numbers, apart from numbers basically. Just like strategy. If we just talk about the strategic issues, if we just talk about the operational issues of a business, if we just talk about the commercial issues of a business, these are not something financial. All of this is basically the non-financial data. So we have to be equally good in non-financial data as well as in financial data as well. Then it is about the exercising judgment when we will be analyzing data. So we cannot say just like it is our figure of 100, it is our figure of 120, and our figure has been increased by 20. No, it clearly looks like that figure has been increased or figure has been decreased, but we should exercise our judgment as a chartered accountant. What good advice we can offer to our business, what good advice we can offer to our client, to general public as well. So we have to exercise our good judgment as a chartered accountant. Then developing conclusions and recommendations basically, because we know and that our report is basically of pages and pages basically. So we have to develop some conclusion, what is going on basically. Definitely board members cannot read pages and pages. So we have to develop the conclusion. What is our conclusion? Either our revenue is increasing or decreasing. What is our performance? What is our profitability? What about cost structure? This is all about conclusion. And apart from conclusion, we should also give some recommendations as well. What is our recommendation? How we can improve our poor areas? This is all about the recommendation side. So we should be good. And our recommendations should be good, practical, that we can implement into our real business. So we can say it's all about demonstration of professional skill, how good, how better professional you are. This is all about the professional skills, because we need to write it out a professional report. A professional report, professional skills are being needed out here as well. No technical knowledge is required. It means no IAS or IFRS, no tax element, no audit, no financial management, nothing. What we need basically, we need just understanding of business issues. Basically, we have to be good at our analysis side, basically. So there is no technical knowledge, because we have already covered a lot of technical knowledge in our corporate reporting exam, strategic business management exam, and rest of the exams of other studies. So it is only about the skills, professional skills exam basically. Further, how this case study exam is basically different. This case study exam is different because it's a 4 hour exam basically. It's a 4 hours exam. Normally, if we just talk about the other exams of ICAW, other exams are approximately, other advanced stage exams are of 3.5 hours, other advanced level exam. But this is an exception. It's a 4 hour exam. Students might think that 4 hours is a very huge time period. No, this is not a big time, because students sometimes might they have to suffer because they have to write too many things, too many areas. If they are not good, if they don't know what is the examiner key, how much you have to write, then unfortunately students might suffer. So you have to be equally good what you are going to write in your 4 hour exam. Writing a report, in this exam we have to write a report basically. I don't think that we have write a report in any of the exams of ICAW in most of the cases, but in this exam of case study we have to write a report, and this report will be based on a single scenario, that will be a single case, and this case will be in the form of advanced information. What is the logic behind that advanced information, and what is the advanced information? Just take the example. For example, you are working as a finance manager of a good group as well, but you are going for a meeting. So before meeting, you should know what is your agenda of meeting basically. Let's say you have a meeting with the bank, so you should know what is your agenda, what is your purpose. Either you are going to negotiate the loan, restructuring of loan, talking about new loan, discussing the financial performance or position. What is your main purpose? So you should know what is the main purpose, what is the main objective of advanced information, and this advanced information is released 6 weeks before exam. So what will be the purpose? This is not something cheating, or this is not something bad. This is something good. Why? Because advanced information just gives you an idea. So we should be aware, and this advanced information will give you understanding about the industry. What is your industry? What is your company? Basically, this will give you the idea. So as I told you, there is a no technical knowledge is being required. It's all about the skill-based exam. You have to demonstrate your professional skills basically. And this is the marking key. This is the marking scheme of ICAW case study. You have to demonstrate 4 key skills areas basically. These are the skills that we have to develop with the passage of time. And what is the structure of ICAW case study exam? This is the advanced information. What is advanced information? In advanced information, there is a fictional company basically. Just like let's assume that there will be a company as well, and then there will be a scenario for real exam. First of all, there will be a fictional company, and there will be a scenario for the real exam, and that will be this advanced information is almost 40 to 50 pages long. It is being released 6 weeks before exam, and it contains almost 10 to 15 exhibits basically. There are a lot of information like management accounts, magazine articles, business issues, ethical concerns, ethical point of views, customer and suppliers information basically. So lot of information, lot of point of views are basically being given out in our case study exam and in our advanced information basically. What about our exam paper basically? We know that almost 40 to 50 pages information is being given to us 6 weeks before. So students think like their exam will be from 40 to 50 pages. No, that's not true. That's partially true basically. Because in real exam, you will be given 10 to 15 new pages of additional information basically, and your exam requirements will be based on the new information that will be new management accounts, and you have to analyze, you have to compare the performance of new year that will be current year with our prior year basically. Almost 4 to 5 new exhibits in the form of 10 to 15 new pages. And in ICW case study exam, there are three requirements. Normally we see that there are three requirements in our exam. Requirement one, that is about the financial performance and position of the company. Normally it is about the revenue, gross profit or operating profit or cash flow or any other small area. First of all, we have to discuss what is the performance, how much revenue has been increased, why it has been increased, what is the gross profit, why it has been increased. Either we have some saving in our cost of sale, or our revenue has been increased more than our cost of sale, or our revenue mix has been changed out. So what is the reason behind that? What is the rationality behind increasing or decreasing trend of numbers? So discuss it for revenue, gross profit, operating profit, cash flow, for any other reason or any other requirement that has been asked by the examiner. Second, it is about financial data analysis, or it is called as FDA. It is called as FDA basically. First one, that is also called as FSA. What is FSA? That is financial statement analysis. Second requirement is FDA, financial data analysis. What is meant by that? It means it uses some judgments, some assumptions basically. So building your model, building your area on some assumption, this is called as financial data analysis basically. Let's say, let's assume that you are a company that sells out the book, that sells book basically, books. And let's assume and the price of your book is £5 basically. £5 is your price, and your last year sales were, let's assume that you have sold out 100,000 and you have got a sale of 100,000 basically. That's a good thing. So what will happen basically if you increase the price? What is, if your price is 7, so what will happen basically? What if your price is 3.5 pounds? So what will happen? What will be your target sale? What will be your actual sale basically? So working out on these model, if you change the sale price, if you change the quality, if you change the budget, if you change different models of sales, so what will happen basically? So it will help you out in your decision making. So we can use various types of models, just like some simple valuation models or sensitivity analysis as well. So these are the points that we can use out in our exam basically. Not like sensitivity analysis, do not consider just like the your financial management exam. It will not be typical. You just have to be aware from your basics. What will happen basically if your sales price increases or it decreases basically. That is sensitivity analysis, how sensitive your sales are basically. Then requirement 3, it is about discussion of multiple areas. It could be some strategic, financial, commercial, and ethical issues basically. And it could be about many areas, just like discussing the benefits, discussing the disadvantages, advantages, pros, cons. These are the same terms basically. What are the benefits? What are the drawbacks, advantages? These are the multiple terms that we can use in our requirement. Basically, that is our requirement. Discussing strategic, financial, commercial, other business issues, and ethical issues as well. Ethics are not important only for the case study, but they are important for all of the 15 exams of ICW. Because they think if you are good, if you are an ICW chartered accountant or a good professional, then you are earning good thing for you, for your family as well. But you should be good, you should be ethical accountant towards society as well. For that purpose, what you have to do basically, you have to be a good professional, you have to be an ethical professional, you have to work out in the public interest. If you are working in public interest, that's a good thing. It means you are working ethically. You are not getting benefit from your company, you and rest of the people are also contributing towards good deed of society as well. And you are also fulfilling your CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. That's why ethics are really, really important in all of the exams of ICAAW. Further exams, sometimes we think if we just talk about the previous exam, and normally we think, let's say if there were 4 questions previously and we have attempted 3 questions in a very good way, and last question was just shaky, so it is quite possible that we may pass out the. But this will not be case here. All 3 requirements equally important. So it means we have to pass every requirement. That's a trick. We have to pass every requirement basically. Doesn't mean if you are very good in requirement 1 and 2 and if you lack in requirement 3, then you might suffer. So you have to good at every requirement basically, and you have to produce equally balanced answer. Doesn't mean you may write 10 pages for requirement 1, 9 pages for requirement 2, and just 3 pages for requirement 3. This is not balanced. Just like requirement 1, requirement 2, and requirement 3. Just like if we just talk about the pages, 10 pages, 9 pages, and 3 pages, it is not acceptable. It will not be acceptable because this is not a balanced report. So you have to produce a balanced report. For example, if there are 7 pages, if there are, let's say, 6 pages or 5.5 pages or 6 pages, that's fine. That could be fine. But if there is a huge difference, it means you were good at start of your exam, but with the passage of time, you might drag out your attention towards requirement 1 and requirement 2, and requirement 3 was not attended in a good way. So we have to be good at all of that. Yeah. This is basically the key. These 2 points are really different from any other exam because it was not a requirement. In rest of the 14 exam, we might attempt any question. It's good that if we appear, if we complete out our exam, but it's compulsory in our case study. We have to pass all 3 requirements, and our exam should be equally balanced. Then finally, executive summary. That's something really, really new. That is the executive summary. What is meant by executive summary? As its name represents, that's the executive summary. That is for board of directors. That is for CFO. That is for CEO or any CS person basically. That is executive summary. Because normally, if our report is 40 to 50 pages or 30 pages, sometimes they don't have time. Most of the time, they don't have enough resources, enough time, so they can read out whole of our report. What they do basically, they just read the executive summary of few pages, very few pages, because what you learn from executive summary, the same areas will be discussed in your report, because executive summary is not something new. Normally students think that executive summary is something new. No, executive summary is not something new. It is just a replica of what you have done in your analysis, what you have done in your rest of the requirement. This is the executive summary. And you do not need to produce any new point in your executive summary. Then it is about the professional skills. We have to show professional skills in various point of views basically. What is our paper style, in which area, in which style we are attempting our real exam, what is our structure, either it's good or it's bad, how we are writing it out, what is our language, what is our business terms, business languages, what we are going to do. This is all about the professional skill. Why these areas are much important in this way? Because we are writing a report and report for our senior management. So that's why it is really important that we really write a very good stuff as well. That's why professional skills matters a lot. So we have to be good in our these areas and these point of views basically. Let's conclude. What is our a case study? As I told, there is a no technical knowledge, no accounting, reported, audit, finance, taxation, nothing required. It is just a skill-based exam basically, and we have to be good in our skills. What are our skills basically? Also, it is advanced information basically. Three main requirements of financial analysis, financial data analysis, and business analysis basically. And this business analysis, some of the points relate with our previous exams of business analysis. Then finally, it is about the ethical issues. What are our ethics? What are our ethical concerns basically? Then what will be our study report resources, how we will be providing you resources basically. First of all, study guide, we will be providing you what is our study guide, what is our syllabus and examinable documents basically. Then we will be sharing the complete notes with you for the case study. Then we will also be sharing the revision notes with you, and then there will be two types of video lectures: complete video lectures for our this course, and then after the completion of this program there will be revision session as well. And this is, there will be some video lectures for revision as well. So complete video lectures, revision video lecture, notes, complete notes, revision notes, these will be resources for you people. We have some other resources as well, just like software training, because we know that ICW has changed out their exam structure basically. So students need to get aware, they need to be familiar with software training. Sometimes students are much worried how they can adopt from paper-based exam to computer-based exam. You do not need to worry about it, because we are here and we will provide you training about the ICAW exam software. We will discuss these exam software in our real class, just like we are discussing our points in our this orientation basically. Same way we will be discussing the software in our real classes, and students will also be discussing, they will be typing their issues, they will be mentioning their solution in our software. Then technical article, we will be discussing the examiner articles basically, past article, what are our relevant study material, relevant websites. We will be giving you opportunity that we can explore those areas, those points, and we can share it with you. Past exam question, we will be discussing the past exam papers basically. What are our past exam papers? We will be discussing the past exam papers of ICAW, real case studies. We will be reading out at CAW advanced information. We will be having analysis of this information, and then we will be discussing the real exam papers of many attempts basically. Then finally, key to pass is knowledge. You must know what is your financial statement analysis, what is your financial data analysis, what is your business analysis. Normally people think that in business analysis it is just about model. No, it is not business analysis, not business models only. Commercial points, ethical issues, financial issues, strategic concern, your benefits, your advantages, disadvantages. So there are a lot of concerns that you know. It is not just about the business model. First of all, you must have knowledge. Then it is about the application, how this application will come. Application and practice comes in the same way, because more you practice, more you will learn about the application side. So practice is key basically. first of all knowledge, then it is about application and practice. As I promised that we will be discussing a lot of past paper questions, real case studies of previous ICAW exam, and this will provide you a good opportunity how you can appear in your real exam basically, and how you can work out in this situation basically. So this is about in this way, and not on this way. What we are going to do? We are going to mark your real exam that you will be appearing just like for previous case study. We will provide you opportunity for that as well. So what will be our methodology? How we will be covering up all of these points? Basically, we have divided it into two sessions. First of all, it is syllabus. Then it is about the practice session. In syllabus, first of all, we will be completing our syllabus. Then notes, complete and revision note. We will be sharing you latest study material with you people. Then it is about the assignment. And assignments are two types, class-based assignments and some home-based assignments also. So we will be having some activities in class as well, having some group discussions as well. This is about the assignment, class-based assignments and home-based assignments as well. So because I think not only the teacher participation, students participation matters a lot. Everyone will be discussing his or her own point of view, what they think basically. These are basically the assignment, class-based and home-based assignment. Then practice session, there will be some test as well. For example, we have covered one case study or two case study, then we can have a small test, small mock exam as well. What you have done basically, this will be in the form of test, and test feedback will be provided to individual student. That's why we take a very limited number of students in our classes, because we think our quality matters a lot. Then question bank and past papers practice basically. What are our past papers basically? We will be discussing them too as well. Then revision classes after completion of syllabus. Then final exam tips and techniques basically. These exam tips and technique will not only at the end of exam, but during our classes, during our sessions, we will also be discussing our exam tips and techniques as well. So this is all about our methodology, and we will also be sharing feedback to your past paper exams, regular tests, and we will be discussing the individual student, because we think not only sharing the solution provides you a good opportunity, because every student has its good sides and its some weak areas. So we need to improve those weak areas. How we can improve? We will be sharing it with you people as well. Then it's a question answer session. But before moving into question answer session, just give me a moment. Let me take you what we have done for our previous exam student in the form of feedback, and then we will be having a question answer session and discussing the further last few points. Please wait a moment. So we will provide you feedback on all areas basically. Your assignments, your past papers, your quizzes basically, your resources, your write-ups basically. And all of our these sessions are live online and also recorded sessions as well. So if you miss out due to some reason, like poor internet connection or some other issue, some other problem, no worries at all. We can share recording with you people as well. So this was all about from our side. Now it's about the question and answer session. If you have some question, then definitely you are most welcome to discuss with us. Now it's your turn. Thank you for listening.
All
I
right,
hope
thank you.
Thank you. I hope you people have enjoyed the orientation, and thank you very much for listening to us. And this was about question and answer session, and you can get our complete course. This is
All right. Yeah.
So this is a way where we people can connect. This is our WhatsApp detail. You people can connect with us. This is our Facebook page. You can connect with us as well. And this is my LinkedIn profile. You people can review my LinkedIn profile as well. And this is through email. So there are a lot of contact details through which you can connect me as well. So good luck to all of you for your exam basically. And thank you very much for listening to us again. Have a good day.